We begin with a migrant crisis in South Florida after the Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, announced on a tweet that Haitians and Cubans who entered the U.S. illegally by boat will be repatriated.
Now, relatives of some migrants fear their loved ones who have made it to shore in South Florida could also be sent back. CBS 4's Yvonne Taylor joins us live from Hialeah tonight with more on what Mayorkas' statement means and new reaction. Yvonne?
Elliot and Lauren, we are going to get exactly to that, but we also want to specify that President Biden's executive order entered in effect on January 9th. It was created not only for Cubans, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, and Haitians crossing the Mexican border without a visa, but also to those coming by boat. The problem is there were people who were caught in between. Yarilei Sierra echoes the anguish of families of thousands of migrants who already entered the U.S. on a boat without a visa. I'm very concerned for my brother. He's at an immigration center, and now there's an executive order that should not apply to him. As many Cuban migrants, her brother, 32-year-old Rolando Corvacho, on the left side, arrived on a vessel in the Florida Keys on December 31st. The measure for Cubans and Haitian rafters should not apply to him. U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas announced through a tweet that Haitians and Cubans who enter the U.S. the same way as Rolando will be repatriated and will not be eligible for a parole process.
Meaning they need a sponsor and they need to fly in with a flight into the United States, be approved, have background checks.
Miguel Linda Romero is an immigration attorney who tells us the policy mentioned by Mayorkas was placed in effect January 9th. Many Cubans and Haitians who entered before may be stranded.
It will affect some people that were on the way here that unfortunately nobody's talking about, people that were making the journey, and this law caught them in between.
Family Action Network Movement, who speaks on behalf of Haitian migrants, says they don't encourage the journey by sea, but if they do it, they should not be repatriated.
We do not support that portion of the policy because we know that people have the right to asylum, they have the right to protection.
Monroe County authorities have beefed up patrolling the sea. The sheriff said migrants captured will not be released.
Going to be put in security detention until you're sent back to your home country.
For Yarilei, it's about the ones who already made it, Cubans or Haitians. Those people risk their lives. They should not be affected by what was ruled after they arrived. So for any of the migrants who is repatriated to his or her country of origin, then wants to come back in legally to the U.S., they would have to wait 5 years. Live in Hialeah, I'm Yvonne Taylor, CBS 4 News.